Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. It has not been lost on us the fact that they are having the meltdowns of all meltdowns, and there is a game, a really important game for Celtic this weekend, but we just can't get by this at the moment. I mean, those lot are just in so much pain, it's unbelievable.
Improving. None of that happened, Brian. The first half was an absolute joke. Aberdeen were by far the better team. They could have been 3-0 up in the first 11 minutes, and that's me being nice. Then the second half, we come out and we start a bit more positively. Positively? I can't even speak. And we get a goal back, and then straight away concede a second. Don't look like scoring again, and Aberdeen win the game comfortably.
Yep, they did that, and it wasn't finished there. It wasn't finished there at all.
Go with the evidence that's been presented. When he does speak publicly, he is quite a stubborn chap, but he's also not stupid. And if you are faced with a situation where everything that you're doing and have been doing is not working, then of course you're going to change it. That's the whole point about being a leader. And in all honesty, I just don't know if he will, but I know that he must. For the reasons that we've been speaking about, and the reasons that every Rangers fan will have been talking about since last night and this morning, and they're working on their WhatsApp groups, because it can't go on like this. And if he does make a change, and if he does say, right, okay, we're going to start playing a couple of the younger players, Lovelace is going to get run, whatever the change is. In some respects, it doesn't really matter at this point, but whatever the change is, I'm like you. And
he's not a Tim like you.
Maybe you and I are not typical in that regard, Cammy. But see if somebody stands up and says, right, here's what we're going to do, and we're going to and gives you evidence of a clear plan. I'd give the guy a chance. It's the same, when it comes to the club. If
give Clement a chance, well, that's going against the grain, isn't it? That is going completely against the grain.
Is of course a little nod to what could possibly be the funeral of Phil Clement's Rangers managerial career, because that is about as ugly and as bad and pathetic as it gets, as the Aberdeen manager who again came in the summer to a side that was battling relegation, that lost Connor Barron, if you want to throw in that bucket, but more importantly, Majowski, their top goal scorer, the only reason they remained in the division, coming into a new country he's never managed before, versus this Aberdeen side that has been struggling within 3 months. He has got them fitter, he has got them faster, he has got them more organised than we as a side have looked pretty much at any point under the management of Phil Clement. And for me, that is why I sat in front of you yesterday with the preview video I did. And I'll be honest, I did get a wee bit of crap and a wee bit of flack here or there, saying I was being negative towards Rangers and everything. I know I was praising Aberdeen too much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do you understand why now?
I can't take it. We need to say what some of the rest of them are saying about it, because this just goes on and on and on, doesn't it?
Yep. Because players are only being on the park where they're told to be. Right, so for me, that's all about coaching. But how can you go from an Aberdeen side who have been put together for halfpennies, with a manager that nobody had ever heard of before he came to Aberdeen, who's got that Aberdeen team?
Wait a minute, who heard the Clement, in all honesty? Did anyone? Hello? Did anyone? I had never heard the Clement before in my life. Just saying.
There's no superstars in that Aberdeen team.
There's no superstars at Rangers either.
They're just a very well coached team who've got heart and desire and want to fight for everything. To this Rangers team,
or wash,
who have quality players but have no heart, fight or desire. I don't understand it, Brian.
It's called good recruitment, and I'm afraid the recruitment, the Aberdeen, obviously.
He sounds awfully Aberdonian, doesn't he?
Identified this manager and thought, right, this boy's got something about him, so we'll go and speak to him. So they liked what they heard and they hired him. Then they've trusted his...
That's what Rangers done with Clement, isn't it? I'm sure that's what happens at every club. You like the look of a manager, you go and look at me, you hire him.
Judgment of who he wants to come in. He didn't sign many players in, but They trusted his judgment and who he wanted to come in. But the difference for me was he has made players at the club currently who were at Aberdeen last season, who finished 7th in the league, who were absolutely abysmal. He's made the players that were currently there better, right? He's made the vast majority of that squad better.
Is he Aberdeen's Ange Postecoglou? Go and say it. Is he Aberdeen's Ange Postecoglou?
You can't say that about our manager. That is the difference. Their manager has made Aberdeen collectively better.
Yep, they have that. We've got to give you that. But there is more important discussions going on one of the other channels.
That perhaps are unrealistic or don't match up with the ability of the guy that we've appointed mid-season, and it all goes wrong. And as I say, that's the cycle we're in, Cammy. That is what we're currently experiencing. So I don't think that we, in the same way that I don't think Philip Clement should be continuing to do what he's doing, I don't think the club should continue to do what it's doing either. If they do make
they shouldn't be in existence at all, really.
The decision that it's gone too far and they've got to get rid of the guy and somebody's willing to stump up the cash to make it happen, then bring in somebody that, again, I'm not a football coach, I don't have my badges, I don't have a pro license, but you look at that squad and they should be better than they are. And if they had even just a
how should they? They may be playing to the level that they're expected to play at, because they're not very good.
Basic sense of organisation, structure and ethos and style of play and all that kind of stuff, then they would be doing better than they are at the moment. So I would be very much in the camp, if a change is made, that you put somebody in temporarily and then you get everything else sorted. You get a chief executive in, you get a director of football in, you sort the structure, you give yourself a bit of time.
Who is running the club? The tea lady? Is she still there?
To do that, you give yourself 6-7 months to make all those key appointments, and then you bring in a manager and you go again from the start of next season. There's no point making changes in the middle of the season. And
so basically, they're now just writing off the season completely. They know they're going to win nothing. They know that we decide everything, and they know that Aberdeen are way better than them. Let's hope that Dundee United pick up their act and pick up some points over the next couple of weeks, and let's hope that Motherwell do just the same. When
we don't have when we've got so many gaps at all levels of the club, Cammy, I think let's take our time. Let's get it.
They love a gap, don't they? They've got gaps all over the club. They do love a gap, don't they? How big is this? Yep, they do love a gap completely at that club. Right, let's listen to one more greeting-faced one before we wrap this one up, and then we do a video about the Celtic Aberdeen semi this weekend.
In the summer, it's why I've sat here and been a little bit different so far this season with my discussion of this team. Young project, this.
It's funny because Celtic went down that route. We brought in a lot of young project players over the last couple of seasons, and Celtic seem to be doing okay with it. Just saying, lads, chin up in that.
If you want, let's stop doing the BS. Let's not get lost in press conferences. Let's not get lost in the way we like players or like managers. It's the exact same players that is playing. Only 3 new young laddies played the day. The rest is the same stuff that keeps failing us, and we're getting the same results, hopefully.
So you're getting the same results for the same players but different managers. So it's the players, it's not the managers. So you've hit the nail on the head. It's going to be a hard day. It's going to be a funny weekend. Anyway, on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all over the world.